What's up, guys? Today is day 53, trying to make $1 million, bro. So, right now, I'm trying to make $1 million. I'm this Lego piece right here. Let me show you. Okay, I'm this one. And I'm this. I'm the $1 million crazy guy. For today, I prepare another video to improve my communication skills because if I want to create a big community, I need to improve my communication skills. So, what's going on, bro? What's up, bro? What are you doing? How are you? I'm glad you're here. For now, I only have 312 days to make $1 million, bro. What? Okay, I only have 212 days to make $1 million. And I bought the shoes from Nike. I bought the shoes to get inspiration. So, important point, I bought the shoes. So, I'm waiting to have the shoes and initiate with all the process, all the creation process. I need a factory to create the shoes, to create my design. I get inspired by the Nike's Jesse Foam runner. Okay, bro. So I'm in the process to launch a running shoe. So let me share screen, but first I will put the counter in the left right corner, in the right corner for you guys, probably. I'm not sure. So for today, let me share screen. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, let me share screen. First, from this guy, Big Yang, one of the best speakers in the world. Why people don't take you seriously until you speak like this? So, this is what I need right now. Don't take you see. Do you? So I need to improve my communication skills. And we're going to learn today from this guy, being Guyan.
This right here is Tina. She's saying the exact same thing, but the second time she said it, she was way more calm, confident, and charismatic. And through a process called record and review, we were able to pinpoint a few subtle behavior shifts that if you, the one watching right now, applied to your own communication, it would instantly upgrade how people perceive you in every conversation. My name's Vin. I'm a communication skills coach, and the process I'm about to take Tina through is one of the most powerful ways to develop self-awareness on how you speak, because it reveals to you the invisible habits in your communication that robs you of authority and credibility. Let me show you exactly what her communication looked like before she started the process. Tina, in this chapter of
This is so important because I'm a salesman. So right now, if I want to sell my running shoes, I need to improve my communication skills.
life,
That's the
what is your
importance of
definition?
this video. This video is so important because of that reason. And also because we learned that we need to create connections, a network, and connect with other people, and that is better than you. people that is better than you. Why? Because if you are the best in a room, probably you are in the ground room. We learned that from Dan Martel. So I need to learn a lot. I need to create a network. Probably I will open a Discord server, but I'm not sure. First, I need to engage more people with my content. So that's the importance of this video.
Definition of success.
Vin, this is a great question.
Probably one day I will go to UK.
I've actually been pondering this myself. The Western world, of course, wants us to, view success as money and power and all these accolades. And once I was a dancer, I was very career driven, and that was success to me. But recently, about 8 years ago, I became a mother, and wow, did things really shift. And I view success more now with family, connection, love, health as I'm getting older. Yeah, I view it differently. I still do value the accolades and the career and the finances, but I see it a lot different now.
Bro, obey your parents. If your parents are more important than me, bro, obey your parents. Truly. I will appreciate more that you obey your parents than you follow me, bro.
And just overall happiness and mental health is what's truly important. And I
Wow.
won't.
If you are lacking AI confidence, AI certainty, AI clarity, and you know you need to take AI to a whole nother level in your life if you're going to compete in your
That's amazing. Oh, wow, that's so good. It's one of those examples you don't need an after because you did such an incredible job. That was amazing. So listen, what we're going to do is, what's really powerful about this process is that no matter what level we're at, we will always find something that we can improve upon. So let's dive into this, okay? We first look at just the auditory component. We're now just going to listen to your voice for about 30 seconds. I want you yourself to have a couple of notes that you write down. One thing that you like and one thing that you feel that you would like to improve. And just have a listen.
Vin, this is a great question. I've actually been pondering this myself. The Western world, of course, wants us to, view success as money and power and all these accolades. And once I was a dancer, I was very career driven, and that was success to me. But recently, about 8 years ago, I became a mother, and wow, did things really shift. The first thing that stood out, I liked my energy. I felt it was, truly me. I'm bubbly. And so I liked the excitement, and I liked that I paused. I also noticed I had some filler words, some knows. I would love to have better vocabulary, I guess.
Okay. Hey, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I felt it was so beautifully articulated. Can we just play back the audio of just the first part? And I want to make you all aware of this.
Vin, this is a great question. I've actually been pondering this myself. The Western world, of course, wants...
Okay, pause. When you spoke the Western world, from there, everything before it, often we say those things as we're thinking of the answer that we're about to give. Again, we acknowledge those things as we're thinking of the answer that we're about to give. Again, we acknowledge that, hey, really appreciate the question. It's a wonderful question. For those who are just starting out, that's great. That's no problems. But because you're such a great communicator, to level it up even more, you can remove that part and you can just start with, in the Western world, we, and that alone makes it punchier.
Thank you.
No problems at all. Whereas again, for most people when they're starting out, Having that, it's no problem, it's fine. But because you're such a great communicator, I'm giving you another advanced tip where you can go straight into the answer, and that makes it seem more potent because the weight of this question was really, really heavy. If you want to apply record and review this entire process to yourself, like how I'm helping my student here, Tina, apply it to herself, I've actually created a free 3-part video series breaking this process down in way more detail. And by going through this process, you'll discover what your non-functional communication habits are. So you have a customized list of things to work on that's specific to you. Instead of working on top 10 things over here, top 10 things over there, these top 10 things that you'll discover, they're specific to you. So click the link in the description or scan the QR code if you want access to the 3-part video series. All right, let's continue with record and review. Now we're going to do something that's going to make lots of people go, no, don't do it. You already know what's coming. It's a visual review. So we're going to do a visual review. We're going to mute you now, and we're just going to watch you. Okay, this is really powerful. Beautiful, wonderful use of hand gestures.
The body language is super important, bro, because you can communicate a lot with the body language. Bro, when you speak like this, specific to the viewer, if you are in a call, it's super important.
Great facial expressions, very expressive. And when you smile with your eyes as well. This is incredible. And Tina, again, it's about self-awareness. I have thoughts too, but I'd love to hear.
I definitely thought a lot of movement. I'm like trying to hold it now. Don't move so much.
That's okay.
I like the expression, but I did like in the very beginning, I did a lot of head shaking that I thought probably was distracting.
Okay. What did you love then? What did you also love?
I loved that it was expressive. I loved that there was hand movement.
So movement served you, but then also you recognize that stillness is also something that's powerful.
100%, yes.
What incredible awareness. Whereas do you notice what happens, Tina? Often, once we deliver something and we finish, and we don't record and review, we don't look back at the auditory or the visual, we don't isolate these different stimuli, then what happens is, it's so easy just to have that frame of mind as, yeah, actually it went good. Whereas as you look into this more closely, what we perceived was, again, please, you're such a great communicator. I don't want you for a second to think, oh no, I'm not good at this. You're so incredible already. But now you can still find moments of, oh wow, if I brought more stillness into this, how would that have changed the way people receive my answer? Wonderful awareness. Okay, now what we're going to do is, this is now your transcript. We've already acknowledged that this part, again, something that we can remove if we wanted to. It just makes it sharper. Was there anything else you noticed in this, Tina?
The high-pitched squeal.
You didn't say that?
Yeah, right after I pitched.
And that's okay. That's all right. You have such minimal filler words, you don't even lose points for that. You don't even lose points for that. It's totally fine. But is there anything else you noticed besides the, like you said, the high-pitched squeal? That's all right. That's okay.
I.
Okay.
These are like that. I could vary them up, perhaps.
That's a really good insight.
A lot of movement. I'm like trying to hold them now. The very beginning was distracted.
Movement served you, but then also you recognize that stillness is also something that's powerful.
100%.
Stillness. I think that the body language depends so much of what do you want to transmit with your body language. Marilyn, hello Archie. So, what do you want to transmit? Stillness, I think that is important. If you're listening to someone, if you want to transmit calm, if you want to transmit, because probably if you are super excited about something and start making a lot of movements, you can distract or get distracted, and in that case stillness is better. But You also need to transmit with your body language. So, master movement and stillness.
And yes,
What incredible awareness. Whereas, do you notice what happens, Tina? Often, once we deliver this is now your transcript. We've already acknowledged, oh, that's such a masterful line of just by saying, and has that happened to you before? Where you made career everything in your life and that's how you define success? As I became a mother, so that's a bridging line that allows you to connect with the audience. That's such a masterful pickup. That's outrageous. With this level of awareness, there are three things we're going to try. I'm going to ask you the exact same question again. This time, I want there to be moments where you are playful with your voice, where you are playful with your energetic version of you, but I want you to also give me that still and controlled version of you. I think that fun version of you could very easily be applied to the part where you're talking about you being a dancer, you're career driven. And then as you shift into the meaning of success for you in this chapter of life now, give me a more still version of you. Still smile, less rapid movement with your hand gestures, but a more still version of you. Start with that because we don't want to lose that. But then end with something that is more controlled and still. And you can remove the line, Vin, this is a great question, I've actually been thinking about this. You can almost kick off from, the Western world wants us to, and then you begin from there. Do you reckon you can do a version of that rapidly? Take a moment of pause, just as you did before, start with the Western part, be your playful self, but move into a much more still and controlled version of you as you end the answer. Also give me some more dramatic pauses at the end. Let's have a go. Let's give it a go. All right, I'll count you down. Here we go. In 3, 2, in this chapter of life for you, what is your definition of success?
in the Western world, they want us to measure success by money, power, accolades, awards. And back in the day, I was a dancer. And let me tell you, I was career driven. And that's what my definition of success was. But then things changed. And 8 years ago, I became a mother. Are any of you mothers? Maybe you'll relate. My whole
His body language changed completely and now looks more confident, you know? She looks more confident right now.
definition of success has completely shifted to one more about love and connection and relationships. I value it so much more.
Oh gosh, okay, so that was incredible. Can you give her lots of love for that? That was incredible. What you did exceptionally well in this version of it is you matched your energy and delivery to the weight of the question that was asked. Whereas one of the things that happens very commonly for many of us is that we anchor in our minds and our hearts a certain version of us that we think people love and like, and then that's the version of us we bring to every interaction. Whereas there's that beautiful version of you that's so bubbly, so fun. And all this tells me is that you've truly mastered.
Okay. Important point, master movement and stillness.
That bubbly version of you. But the moment you leaned into that more still version of you, oh my goodness, it's so incredible. It was deep, it was vulnerable, it had this incredible depth. That was incredible. Amazing.
Let me show you why UE Germany is the one. International community. At UE, you will
Okay. I also prepared this video. So I want to watch this video with you guys. Gymshark. Have you heard about this brand? It's called Gymshark. This guy, he built $1 billion fitness wear brand in his 20s. So I'm trying to build something similar, but something similar. I want to build a brand similar to Gymshark, but my brand is focused on in shoes.
Gymshark has come a long way since its founder, Ben Francis, started making pieces of fitness wear in his parents' garage nearly a decade ago. But by 2020, the fast-growing fitness wear brand was valued at more than £1 billion and had been sported by a number of Hollywood stars. After spending 6 years gaining experience in several senior roles in the company, Francis returned to the...
This guy, he built a $1 billion fitness brand. My brand is focused on shoes, but his brand is similar because we are in the fitness niche, but my friend is focused on shoes. His brand is focused on shoes.
CEO role
something
in
like that.
2021, with ambitious plans for expansion.
In Canada, you've got Lulu, and in the States, you've got great brands like Nike and Under Armour, and in Germany, you've got Adidas and Puma. I really think Gymshark can be the UK's answer to those brands.
The Gymshark website was created in 2011 by then 19-year-old Francis, while he was a student here at Aston University in Birmingham in the UK.
I was really lucky actually. So when I was a young kid, I did work experience with my granddad. My granddad ran his own business, and that business was basically lining furnaces with either brick or ceramic fibre. Now, albeit that is a million miles away from websites, it basically made me really inspired and made me think, oh, do you know what? I want to do my own thing. I want to be in a business that I would like to run myself if possible. And when I went to school, I had an IT class, and this IT class completely changed my life. I just absolutely fell in love with IT and tech and websites and apps and everything around like that. And I was also in love with sort of the gym and fitness. So then those two things just sort of came together, and I started making a load of fitness websites, more for fun than anything.
In 2012, he incorporated Gymshark with his school friend Lewis Morgan. At first, they used the Gymshark website to dropship fitness supplements, effectively acting as a middleman to market and sell the products without having to take on the additional cost and risk of buying stock themselves. They used all the money from this venture, as well as what Francis earned working at a Pizza Hut, to buy a sewing machine and screen printer to make the first piece of Gymshark fitness wear. What inspired you to go from dropshipping to making clothes?
There was no like strategic thing. It wasn't really like a well thought out decision, if I'm completely honest. It was literally a case of no one makes the gym wear that we want to wear. Like, let's try and do it ourselves. I remember ordering like what they call a stringer vest from the States. And it came and it just completely like drowned me. Like I looked like I was wearing my dad's sort of top sort of thing. And it made me realise very quickly that like bodybuilding clothes then was absolutely massive. And we loved the style, but it wouldn't really fit. So we literally just wanted to make it ourselves, and so we did.
How did you go about doing that?
So my nan and my mom both knew how to sew. So I would be at university in the day. In the gap between uni and Pizza Hut is my mom would video herself sewing and like give me like a tutorial, right, you do this here, this here, this here. If this happens, this is what you do. Then I would sort of get home at 11 o'clock, put it in front of me, and I would basically learn from the videos that she took how to sew. There was a local lad that did a lot of screen printing. So he taught us how to screen print and just sort of experimented.
In 2014, the business really started to take off after Francis and Morgan brought Gymshark to the Body Power Expo, a 2-day fitness event in Birmingham. They launched Gymshark's Luxe fitted tracksuit at the event and brought along well-known fitness YouTubers. What made you kind of realise that bringing along fitness YouTube stars would help attract people to the stand?
We realised that about 10 minutes into the event, to be honest. I had no idea running up to it because my heroes were on YouTube. So it was just a case of, oh, it would be so cool if our heroes would come to the UK and be with Gymshark at this event. I didn't really think that much into it, if I was honest.
Soon after, Francis dropped out of college to focus on growing the business.
That was a massive decision for me because I was the first person in my family to have gotten into university, which was massive. And then as we got into the second year, Gymshark was roughly, it'd been live for about a year at that point. And we did actually have consistent revenue. It wasn't massive revenue, but it was consistent. And
wow, it's super interesting that he started creating the clothes by himself. So he started creating the clothes at first, the manufacturing process. He do all the manufacturing process by itself. So it's very interesting that. So the problem right now is that I don't know how to make a shoe. That's the reason why I need someone to create. I build the design, I build all the process, the marketing process, the design, but I need someone in the manufacturing process because I don't know how to create a shoe.
Never forget actually calling up my mum and dad.
But I will search, probably. If I can. I need to be more specific. I can probably help. If you have any idea, that will be very helpful.
In this video, I'm going to teach you how to build a running shoe rotation. I think when I first got into running, I always heard people talk about running shoe rotations, but I never actually understood how to build one. I ended up just buying like a bunch of shoes, not really knowing what they were for, and I ended up having probably like 5 or 6 shoes that I just kind of were all for the same thing. And honestly, it's just because I didn't really understand what I was doing or how to build one. So in this video, I want to break down the simplest ways that you can build a running shoe rotation, because I honestly think a lot of people talk about them a lot, and a lot of people say that they have like 15 shoes in their running shoe rotation, but it's just not necessary, and they don't really talk about what they use them for or why they use them. So I'm going to break this down into a few.
How running shoes are made.
En InDrive siempre puedes compartir la ubicación de tu viaje en tiempo real.
Getting some good running shoes is a worthy investment. Not only do you look fly, but it can be pretty comfortable too, like walking on clouds. So whether you're a dedicated marathoner or a casual jogger, you're probably curious about the science behind your favorite pair. Let's talk about it today. How are running shoes even made? In today's video,
I want to know if I can create my running shoes by myself, because this guy create all the shoes by himself. I'm glad you're English. What do you mean, bro? This guy create all the shoes by himself. It's very interesting. It's hard, I know. It's hard. But what do you mean with that?
exploring exactly that. So lace up. Well, it goes without saying that running has a long history. Humans love running. As a sport, it goes all the way back to ancient Greece, where athletes competed barefoot. Now, this was a culture that was all about physical and mental strength. After all, the ancient Greeks believed a lot in the importance of a sound body and mind. Even their contests were done with the
I don't understand because they have different language. Know what they say, but I can understand you, so I know what you are saying. Okay. Are you speaking about YouTubers or what?
athletes nude so everyone could appreciate their true form. Later, the Romans introduced thin-soled sandals for their messengers.
It's hard, but it's the way I choose. It's the path I choose. So
this was an early attempt to try and improve foot protection and comfort. But it wasn't until the 19th century that shoes were designed specifically for running. Let's jump to 1852. Runners started wearing shoes with spiked soles for better traction. This innovation marked the beginning of specialized footwear for running. By 1900, the sneaker, or all-purpose athletic shoe, was introduced. This shoe was usually made of canvas with a rubber rim. It was made even better by Charles Goodyear's earlier invention of vulcanized rubber. Goodyear's process involved heating rubber with sulfur, which prevented it from hardening and losing elasticity. Shoes were softer now. But even though rubber was a major advancement, its durability wasn't good enough for long-term use. So leather stayed the preferred material for running shoes for many years. Still, it had its drawbacks, like chafing. In 1925, German shoemaker Adolf Dassler began focusing on athletic shoes. He eventually founded a company with his brother Rudolf. Dassler's shoes had some amazing new features like arch support and speed lacing. They quickly gained popularity with prominent athletes like Jesse.
The problem in this case is that create a running shoe from zero requires a whole manufacturing process.
Owens, who wore Dassler shoes during the 1936 Munich Olympics. The Dassler brothers later parted ways, leading to the creation of Adidas by Adolf and Puma by Rudolf. Sound familiar? Over the past 15 years, a lot has changed. The design for running shoes has evolved. New technology and biomechanics have brought on changes for the better. Contemporary shoe designers use sophisticated techniques. These include video analysis and computer simulations, all to study foot anatomy and movement. These technologies help designers understand how different terrains affect impact and foot positioning. Plus, they need to categorize. There are two types of runners: pronators, whose feet roll inward, and supinators, whose feet roll outward. By analyzing pressure points, friction patterns, and impact forces, designers create shoes that accommodate different running styles. The goal is comfort, but also they need to prevent injuries. Coming to the construction, modern running shoes typically have around 20 parts. They're then divided into two main sections, the upper and the sole. The upper covers the top and sides of the
parts, the upper, the midsole, and the outsole.
Foot and includes several components. Starting at the front, the feather line is the edge where the mudguard or toe guard meets the bottom of the shoe. The vamp shapes the shoe around the toe box and includes features such as the throat, eye stay, and lacing section. The tongue attached here protects the foot from direct contact with the laces. Reinforcements, which add durability, can be sewn on the outside or inside. Further towards the back, the collar often features an Achilles tendon protector. The foxing shapes the rear end of the shoe, while the heel counter, a plastic cup, supports the heel for added stability. Now let's talk about the sole of the shoe. Pun intended. The sole is divided into three main parts: the outsole, midsole, and wedge. The outsole, which contacts the ground, provides traction and absorbs shock. It's typically made from carbon rubber for durability or blown rubber for a softer feel. The midsole is responsible for cushioning, so it usually has materials like polyurethane, gel, or liquid silicone. Usually very soft. It's the about the sole of the shoe. Pun intended. The sole is divided into three main parts: the outsole, midsole, and wedge. The outsole, which contacts the ground, provides traction and absorbs shock. It's typically made from carbon rubber for durability or blown rubber for a softer. It's typically made from carbon rubber for durability or traction and absorbs shock. It's the outsole, which contacts the ground, provides traction and absorbs shock. It's typically made
and absorb shock. Perfect.
Made from carbon rubber for durability.
Made of carbon rubber.
Or blown rubber for a softer feel. The midsole is responsible for cushioning, so it usually has materials like polyurethane,
liquid silicone. Perfect.
gel, or liquid silicone. Some midsoles have capsules of compressed air for added shock absorption. The wedge supports the heel, giving you more comfort and stability. In this step, the construction begins. Manufacturing modern running shoes relies on the cold cement construction method. This technique uses lower temperatures for bonding, so we can use lightweight materials like plastics and foams. The process begins with die cutting, where the shoe parts are cut from fabric or leather using steel cutting dies. Multiple layers of fabric can be cut at the same time, but leather parts are cut individually to avoid any mistakes. After cutting, the pieces that'll form the upper part of the shoe are stitched or cemented together. At this stage, the upper resembles a hat more than a shoe, but that's because of extra material known as the lasting margin. The upper is then heated and fitted around a plastic mold called a last. This shapes it to fit the contours of the foot. The insole, midsole, and outsole are all then cemented to the upper. For the upper, most running shoes today have stretchy, breathable.
Okay, material choices and assembly. Assembly. Perfect.
For the upper, most running shoes today have stretchy, breathable knit or mesh tops that mold to your foot.
Okay,
Tough
right,
PU leather patches protect the shoe, while classic styles might use suede. But the problem with suede is how it's heavier and less waterproof. And for the sole, the shoe's base starts with a soft EVA insole. The midsole, the squishy part, is often made of polyurethane and mixed with gel or silicone for extra cushion. Some shoes even have built-in air pockets. The outsole, the part touching the ground, is typically tough carbon or blown rubber with different patterns for grip. At the end, the shoe's top is shaped around a mold, stretched tight, and cooled to fit perfectly. The sole parts are glued together. Then, the top and bottom are pressed together in a machine.
Okay. The main difference here is that the GC Foam Runner is one piece, only one piece. I don't know if I can create this shoe with a 3D printer. I don't know.
After cooling, the shoe's finished by adding the inner sole, either a molded or flat piece of foam. Before your new kicks hit the shelves, they've got to pass a rigorous glue foundation of it around a plastic. The ends. Running shoes today have stretchy, breathable knit or mesh tops that mold to your foot. Tough PU leather patches protect the shoe, while classic styles might use suede. But the problem with suede is how it's heavier and less waterproof. And for the sole, the shoe's base starts with a soft EVA insole. The midsole, the squishy part, is often made of polyurethane and mixed with gel or silicone for extra cushion. Some shoes even have built-in air pockets. The outsole, the part touching the ground, is typically tough carbon or blown rubber with different patterns for grip. At the end, the shoe's top is shaped around a mold, stretched tight, and cooled to fit perfectly. The sole parts are glued together. Then, the top and bottom are pressed together in a machine. After cooling, the shoes finish by adding the inner sole.
What I notice right now is that I need machines right now to create a shoe. It's not it's very difficult to create a shoe because you require a lot of materials and machines, different type of machines. How much costs a machine?
Either a molded or flat piece of foam. Before your new kicks hit the shelves, they've got to pass a rigorous inspection. Every pair gets a good once-over to make sure it's flawless. Loose threads? Nope, not happening. Any smudges or dirt? Gone. Once they've passed the test, they get a quick spritz in a fancy box. It's all about making sure your new shoes are perfect for when you're ready to buy them. It's wild how far we've come. From ancient barefoot runners to today's high-tech sneakers, it's clear we're obsessed with finding the perfect running shoe. And why not? They're not just for athletes anymore. Even couch potatoes love them for comfort. Plus, running shoes have evolved right alongside our love for hitting the road. As more people lace up for a jog, shoemakers have been working overtime to create the ultimate running buddy. Thanks to cool celebrity deals and some impressive marketing, sneakers are now a must-have.
Is it all just rubber? Rubber, but different types of rubber. Carbon rubber. There are
in everyone's
types
closet.
of rubber.
But it's not all about looking good.
And fabric. I think that also use fabric. Rubber and fabric. Probably.
Companies are also trying to be good to the planet. They're using recycled stuff and making shoes in a way that's kinder to the earth. With every new design, we're getting closer to the perfect shoe. Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed learning about how running shoes are made and want to explore more behind-the-scenes,
okay, let's continue.
Because again, they were so proud of me, so proud of the fact that I'd literally grafted so hard to get into uni. I said, listen, I'm gonna quit uni. And to be fair to them, they sort of said, listen, you 100% sure that this is what you want to do? And I'm not sure if they 100% agreed, but I said, yeah, this is the decision I'm gonna make. And then as soon as I made the decision, they were 100% supportive and completely backed me. And that was, if I'm honest, a fairly life-changing moment for me.
From then on, Gymshark saw rapid growth, taking on more staff and launching its women's activewear range. In 2016, Morgan stepped back from working in the business, but remained a shareholder for the next 4 years.
Fast forward to 2020, and Gymshark had gone from operating out of a garage to this campus in Solihull just outside of Birmingham, complete with its own lifting club and gym. And while many clothing retailers suffered during the coronavirus pandemic, Gymshark actually saw a jump in sales.
Gymshark is an exclusively online business and only sells its products through its own website. That worked to its advantage as many brick and mortar shops were forced to close during the height of lockdown. The business also benefited from people using exercise to stay occupied while being asked to stay at home.
More people are running, cycling and lifting than ever. They were doing home workouts, there was so much going on. All of a sudden they had this extra bit of time. There was a spike in terms of activity, albeit no one was in the gym. I think it helps that we're online. I think a lot of e-commerce brands did incredibly well. We trialled a store in Covent Garden, which unfortunately had to be closed about 2 weeks early. I would love to finish that trial. We'll definitely be doing more tests in the future when it comes to offline and retail. I think there's a great opportunity there.
Gymshark's sales soared by 58% in 2020 compared to the previous year, with revenues topping $500 million. In August 2020, US private equity firm General Atlantic announced it had taken a 21% stake in Gymshark. At the time, it valued Gymshark at more than £1 billion, seeing the brand become one of just 24 British unicorns.
Gymshark was only the second British company to have reached the milestone without previous backing from external investors.
The General Atlantic deal also saw Francis increase his stake in Gymshark up to 70%, making him a near billionaire. Gymshark has continued to see strong performance in 2021, with turnover of £400 million according to the company's latest full-year results.
But despite the brand's stratospheric growth, Francis has been determined to remain grounded. He stepped back as CEO in 2015, handing the reins to Steve Hewitt, who was managing director at the time.
Francis spent the next 6 years working in different roles in the company, including Chief Technology Officer, Chief Marketing Officer, and Chief Product Officer.
CEO was not the right role for me when I was in my early 20s. Just because I'd started a business that had grown very quickly didn't mean I was the most competent chief exec. So that was an interesting realization for me, and it took a little bit of a while for that to hit home. It was a little bit heartbreaking. However, in hindsight, it gave me an incredible opportunity to then work in different areas of the business. I could then focus on my strengths, so brand, product, marketing, and really double down on them and improve them. But I could also work on my weaknesses without having to worry about failing.
Francis returned as CEO in August 2021 with a clear vision on where he wants to take Gymshark next as it expands into the US and Asia.
There's so many brands around the world that I'm really inspired by, right? In Canada, you've got Lulu, and in the States, you've got great brands like Nike and Under Armour, and in Germany, you've got Adidas and Puma. I really think Gymshark can be the UK's answer to those brands. But that's not saying that the UK is where it starts and ends for us. We also want to be a truly global brand, and some of the most inspiring brands to me aren't necessarily the biggest, but they're, even like Jaguar Land Rover, for example. I know that they're a British brand and they're from just over the road from where I grew up, but it's so cool like when you're abroad and you see their vehicles being driven around. So I've got this absolute ambition of Gymshark being, yes, it is.
Lola aprendiendo de running shoes. Porque voy a lanzar mis zapatos, mi marca de zapatos, entonces ahí vamos aprendiendo cada día. And that's all.
The UK's brand, but it's also a truly global brand as well.
But in the fiercely competitive and fast-moving sports where
Sigo básicamente aprendiendo de zapatos para poder lanzar mi marca de zapatos. I get inspired by the GSC Foam Runner. By these two. Esta es mi marca, Big Way. So we're taking inspiration from this guy.
our industry. Can Gymshark keep up with incumbents which have long dominated the sector?
All consumers are looking for brands that speak to them specifically, and I think these sportswear giants maybe don't connect on that more personal level with consumers.
Suscríbete, porfa. Subscribe to help me go to the moon, please.
Consumers the way that a smaller brand like Gymshark does, that has partnerships with their favorite trainers, with their favorite athletes.
Market researcher Euromonitor estimated that the global sportswear market will be worth over $345 billion in 2022.
I was just looking at fabric. Okay.
Up from around $315 billion in 2018, and despite shrinking in 2020.
The question remains, what type of rubber and what type of fabric they use to create the shoes? That's the question.
Consultancy McKinsey identified a number of trends expected to shape the sporting goods industry in 2021. This included developing digital-enabled fitness communities as working out from home becomes a longer-term trend. That's in addition to an even greater shift to influencer marketing. Gymshark has been an early adopter on both these fronts.
The report also highlighted how the pandemic had accelerated the focus on sustainability, noting that
we are right now. Okay, wait. 162 subscribers! Thank you so much. Yo, we're 162. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
become more of an urgent consumer priority.
Sportswear products are somewhat notorious for being made through less sustainable processes or out of less sustainable materials. And for that reason, especially considering the growth of the market, there's a big opportunity there to improve those materials and processes.
But Francis is committed to addressing this issue and is convinced Gymshark can rise to the challenge.
Bro, do you know this brand? I know it's very popular in UK. Bro, okay. Right now, we know the components, we know how my business grows, and we know the type of shoe I want to create and the difference, the design. I get inspired by this brand On and by this shoe, the Jesse Foam Runner. I will put the name here. Okay. Runner. Inspiration. Perfect. And I want to put a background here. And here. Okay, perfect.
It's planning to use 100% recyclable packaging and remove all hang tags.
Tomorrow, bro. I hope you... I don't want to live the life, but I have school tomorrow. No problem, bro. Go to sleep. No problem. I really appreciate you being here with me. I really appreciate that so much, bro. Thank you. Estoy en mi proceso. De momento estoy en el proceso de creación y buscando las fábricas que lo hacen. Estoy en mi proceso. Bro, thank you so much for being here. So go to sleep. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Y sí, de momento voy a crear un diseño similar a este. Pero apoyándome en la tecnología de esta marca que se llama On. Y ya pedí estos zapatos para tomarlos de inspiración. What language are you speaking? I'm speaking in Spanish, bro. Because I have some Spanish viewers. So I was speaking in Spanish, bro. I speak Spanish and English. And I want to learn French. When I was a kid, I wanted to learn let me show you. Okay, wait. When I was a kid, I wanted to go to Russia, so I wanted to learn Russian. But I was speaking in Spanish. Okay, we already watched this video, we already watched Pink Giant video. And Hyrox.
We're back and today we're at Hyrox World.
Hyrox, I want to create a specific shoe for this competition. But first I want to create training shoes. This shoe is like a fusion, a mix between a Crocs and a running shoe. It's very interesting. And I want to create shoes for this specific competition. Hyrox.
Championships in Nice. With a new season fast approaching, we're going to be taking you through a step-by-step of what to expect on your first Hyrox, plus some inside tips to each of the stations. The first thing you're going to do once you've got through the hustle and bustle of the Built for Athletes backpack and the Puma My Protein stands, is you're going to head over to check-in. Here you have your ticket.
To create a shoe for this specific competition, I need to know more about this competition because I only know that there are four exercises. The first is ski, the second push, third one pull, number 4 burpees, number 5 rowing, number 6 farmer's carry, number 7 lunge, and number 8 wall balls. For me, this is the hardest. wall balls. Let me show you. Is this exercise. For me, this is the hardest, bro. Whoa, bro.
Number 8, the wall balls. On this one, you obviously can be a bit more of a hero, believing everything that we've got left here in this station. The best way to set up is to remember firstly where your stance is. I like to do this by grabbing hold of the wall ball, and although you might lose 2 seconds, it's going to save you in the long run. So I like to put my arms out, reach out, and wherever my arm's length is from the wall ball to the target is where I like to stand. This will just stop you from when you're throwing the wall ball up, either being too close and it hitting you in the face, or being too far away and the wall ball pulling you forward. Now, another good tip to remember with this is, as we're moving through, is to drive up, big push, and then what we want to try and do, instead of catching it like I just did now, is to allow...
Competitions do you have to do?
Allow the start the squat as the wall ball is coming down, and allow the momentum of the ball to take it into the squat. How do we avoid penalties in the wall balls? The most simple way is to make sure that as we're going down to the squat, we're getting to at least parallel. If you start to not hit that depth, you will start to incur further reps. Now, what...
Let me... Hyrox. I want to watch the intro again, because this competition is...
I'm not gonna lie, daughter has fun on Yagi, her brain fried. My lady Papa Zenny, other lady popping Molly, why she waiting on me? Yogi my area, keep on heading if you want, I drive it like a nut. I don't wanna hear you, 지겹잖아 이제 넌 like I'm Bango, cutting my hair. I just keep going though, 소신껏 날 믿고 I fly non-stop, Kelly에서 New York 구름 위로 hop on, drive out and riding birds, honeyberry counting gobs. I do what I wanna do, 그게 나의 문의원, 너넨 꿈꾸지.
I'm your 162 sub. My mom is. Bro, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. But what I need right now most is people that watch my content. Because if you only subscribe but don't watch my content, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because the algorithm don't recommend my videos.
Just do it.
Recommend my videos, bro.
Like Nike, just do it. Get to know me and I net flow. got 잡은 눈이 분위기는 chill. Fendi snakes on my belt. Yeah, I'm feeling first class. Yo, don't cash flow. Ooh, pop it on my glass. Ooh, pop that pass. Ooh, smoke that gas. Cash play, blackjack. Monkeys on my
music. Also, I love the music. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. So, there are only 312 days to make $1 million. What else I need to know? I already learned about the manufacturing process, about the running shoes. Why is Gymshark so popular? Because it's very popular. It's very popular, bro. I have 162 subscribers right now, bro. 162. $161. No! 161, bro. You're right. We were 162 subscribers. What happened? What happened? No! Okay, bro. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. We were 162 subscribers, bro. Yeah, somebody unsubscribe, bro. No way, no way, bro. Oh, bro. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, bro. No, bro. I don't need bots. I need someone that watch my content. Someone that watch my content. Because if I get to 200 subscribers but they're all bots, that's a huge problem. A huge problem, bro. So, no, bro, no, damn it. Bro, but I don't need bots. With bots, no, bro. I really appreciate that, but I don't need bots. Because, please unsubscribe, please. I never think I will say that. Please unsubscribe because I need real people. I need real people in my community. I need real people, so unsubscribe, please, unsubscribe. Because I need real people, not bots. The bots don't watch my content. I need real people. Unsubscribe, but I did sub now. I'm glad you are a sub, bro, but I really appreciate that, but I need real people. So I need you to unsubscribe. Please, because I don't need bots, I need real people, bro. Okay. For now, I need to make $1 million in just 312 days. What's the plan, bro? Okay, something happened with the counter. I didn't see the counter. Wait. I need real people, bro. It was me. I unsubbed to you as a prank. I just sub it again. That was how you got to 162 subscribers. Oh, okay. You prank me. You make a... Bro, I was scared. I was like, bro, why people unsubscribe to my channel? Bro, don't make that again, please. Okay. Let me share screen again. What happens in America? What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? What do you mean with that? Okay. I want to watch this video with you guys. 2 viewers. Finally 2 viewers, bro. 2 viewers. Thank you so much. It's very hard, bro. Go live every single day and post every single day, bro. It's very hard. Ben Francis story.
I'm Ben and I love to make things. And one of those things is Gymshark, which I created when I was 19 years old. I'm now 24 and I've never had so much going on in my life. Gymshark is officially the UK's fastest growing company and I'm travelling a lot. We're about to take some huge leaps to compete with some of the biggest companies, so I've decided to document this journey.
Right now, in America, in my country, are 9 p.m. What hour is in your country, bro?
I think the best place to start is with the Gymshark story, where I started and how Gymshark started. As a young teenager, all I did was make websites. My first fully functioning website sold license plates. So the first bit of money that I earned, I bought plates and sold them online with my friends. Next, I got my first iPhone and I was absolutely fascinated by it. I instantly downloaded the iPhone SDK and started to learn to develop. I made 4 iPhone apps, 2 of which were fitness apps, and both of them made it into the top charts in the UK and several other countries. And they were about teaching you how to work out, populating your calendar and diary with workouts and things like that. Next, I made a fitness social network website called twotone.com. It got several thousand members, but next I made a fitness social network website called twotone.com. It got several...
twotone.com. Hello world. Welcome to the WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it. Then start writing. Recent comments. A WordPress commander on Hello World. Categories. Twotone, just another WordPress site.
Several thousand members, but it just wasn't getting...
2:27 a.m. in UK. AM, bro. AM.
in the traffic
Go
for it to be
sleep,
sustainable.
bro. Go to sleep, bro. Go to sleep. Go to sleep right now, bro. It's very late or early. I don't know. Bro, go to sleep, please. Please, you have to go to the school tomorrow. So please go to sleep. Go to sleep, bro. I want to type something. Tomorrow. But with tomorrow, what do you mean with tomorrow? Tomorrow, or do you mean the same? Okay. AM is late. It's very late. Bro, so go to sleep. Why do you still... do you still watching my stream? Go to sleep, bro. You need to sleep. Hello world. Nothing found. I wrote my name. Gymshark. Okay. Let's continue watching.
And then the next website I made was
today. You have to go to the school today. Bro, go to sleep, bro. Go to sleep. You really need to sleep, bro.
the Gymshark website. I incorporated Gymshark in 2012 with my friend Lewis. Another time I'd spend all my day at university, then after that I'd deliver pizzas for Pizza Hut, and any time in between the two I'd spend in the gym or working on Gymshark. Now, we couldn't afford to stop because we had no money, so the solution that I thought up was to have every single supplement that you can ever imagine on the website, and we didn't stock any of them. And what I did was, when people would order off the website, it would automatically trigger another retailer to drop ship the supplement to them, and we just add a small margin to it. And I think it took about 2 months to get our first sale. And we've done a lot of world tours, and we met a lot of people at expos and stuff, and a lot of people ask me advice on starting a business. And I think the key thing that I would say, based on the way that we started Gymshark, is that you have to be creative with both the front end of your business and the back end. Because if we weren't creative enough to think of the drop shipping solution for the back end of the business, then Gymshark wouldn't exist at all. So it's from doing this that we earn enough money to be able to stock other people's brands of clothing. And when we is that you have to be creative with both the front end of your business and the back end. Because if we weren't creative enough to think of the drop shipping solution for the back end of the business, then Gymshark wouldn't exist at all. So it's from doing this that we earn enough money to be able to stock other people's brands of clothing. And when we got it, I realised that there was nothing out there.
Okay, bro, see you tomorrow. Go to sleep.
Like what we wanted to wear. So we spent everything we had on a screen printer and a sewing machine, and we started to design our own answer to fitness wear, which is longer, stretchier and more fitted. At this stage, that every single Gymshark product was custom made. I remember spending hours and hours printing the t-shirts, sewing the t-shirts, designing all the logos, and then printing them off, burning them into screens. It was just, this was the most manual time for Gymshark. I remember going to Body Power around this time and just walking around and seeing sort of the bodybuilders, the more, I guess it was a little bit more boring than what it is now, and thinking that this expo is missing something huge. So I went straight to the show office and I just said to them, like, what can we afford? What can we get? We have to be here next year. And I remember literally emptying the bank account on the floor space for Body Power the following year. So after signing up for Body Power next year, the following year was spent just non-stop work. Again, just packaging orders, printing, sewing, just non-stop custom making product. It was really, really tough. The hours were long.
One thing I realized is that I need a logo for Big Way, a logo, because I only have this logo. Let me show you. But Big Way. But I think I need something that people can recognize, something more simple that people can recognize. Okay, let's continue watching the video.
It was non-stop, but it never really felt like work because we were always just creating what we loved. I was absolutely obsessed with YouTube. Whilst I was working, I remember watching Scott Herman and Scooby, every single video that they would ever upload. Matt August, Chris Lovato, Jeff Side, Lex, Alon, just watched them all the time. And as massive fans, we decided to send them the Gymshark product. Lex was the first person to ever get Gymshark product, the first Gymshark athlete. I remember when he got it and he gave us his feedback and he uploaded a video in it. It was just the coolest thing ever. At the time, no one else was doing this. Now it's called influencer marketing, but at the time it just came totally natural. One of the first person to ever get. Chris Lovato, Jeff Side, Lex, Alan, just watch them all the time. And as massive fans, we decided to send them the Gymshark product. Lex was the first person to ever get Gymshark product, the first Gymshark athlete. I remember when he got it and he gave us his feedback and he uploaded a video in it. It was just the coolest thing ever. At the time, no one else was doing this. Now it's called influencer marketing, but at the time it just came totally natural to us as we were just fans of the guys, I guess. At the end of 2012, we started to design the Lux fitted tracksuit, the tracksuit and the product that would shoot Gymshark into huge growth. When we finished designing it, the minimum order quantity was so high that it costed, again, everything that we had at the time. But we loved the product so much and we knew that it was such a game changer that we just went with it, we ordered it, and it was due to arrive May the following year, ready for body power. I remember receiving the samples of the Lux tracksuit on Christmas Day 2012, and it was the most excited I had ever been. To have this Gymshark product in our hands that we hadn't had to physically make ourselves was just incredible. We invited Matt, Chris, Jeff, Alan, Lex to the Body Power Expo. They all said yes, and it was absolutely awesome. So we headed off to the Body Power Expo, and my dad and my brother Joe stayed back to package all the orders and cover things whilst we were away. And there was nothing that could prepare us for what we were about to experience at this expo. We went from just sort of being an online business, we'd never actually been able to see physically the people that we were affecting in person. And I remember turning up to the expo, and the second the doors opened, we were flooded. I have never seen so many people just draw into a stand at once, ever. It was absolutely incredible. It was unmanageable. We spent the whole weekend talking, just helping people. Obviously, people were buying loads of Gymshark product, and we were with the guys. It was so crazy that Dan and Craig, our two friends, dropped their final university exams and lost their degrees so that they could come to Birmingham to help us out that weekend. It was just so busy. Dan Blackwell and Ash Grant came and they helped us out all weekend as well. I remember they brought their friends who we didn't even know, and they helped us out. It was so cool to be a part of. We didn't even realise it, but at the time we were revolutionising the way that expos were done, like, in this industry. It was just the best experience of our entire lives. Everyone went home, and I remember being sat in the living room. It was late one night, because during the expo we turned all the stock down, so there wasn't too many orders. And I remember doing a post, and I flicked all the stock back on. I put the Lux tracksuit on the website, and the website literally blew up. We had more traffic and had more sales in the first 30 minutes of me putting the stock back on the website than we had in the entire of the Gymshark history. And I remember being sat there, we'd sold out, I was clawing at my laptop to try and turn all the stock off that night, and afterwards I was sat there on my own in the living room thinking, wow, we have made something incredible. Over the next few years, tons happened. We kept creating the product that we loved. We went on a huge Expo World Tour. Loads of staff joined Gymshark because we were growing so fast. Lewis decided to move on because he wanted to do other things. We launched our women's range, which at first wasn't great, but now it's a huge part of our community and business. We brought on our first female athlete, Nikki Blacketer. We invested heavily into the Gymshark women's brand and community, and that's been great. I think anyone that saw the Flex launch a few weeks ago will know just how crazy the growth is right now. We thought we'd have enough Flex leggings to last us maybe a month or two, and they sold out in minutes, so we're really working on this right now. More recently, we got to a point where we had to make a decision. We could keep going as a small, relatively fast-growing business, or we could take some big risks and go for the big time. And that was a decision that I wanted to make. People that really helped me to understand this.
The more risks you take, the luckier you get, bro. The more risks you take, the luckier you get. I need to take risks.
Is Paul and Steve, who both run the Gymshark business with me, and they taught me the importance of the structure and the back end and the foundations of a business, as well as the investment in the front end, the market and the products and the creativity that I love so much. And I think it's the combination of my front end creativity and their brains on the back end that has allowed us to create a company that is so agile, structured, and is constantly invested in people and creating the things that we love. And especially now, because we've got 70 staff in the UK, we ship from Norway and Sweden, and we're an international business. It's so difficult for someone of my age to run. So having those guys to help me in the back end of the business is just priceless to me. So there it is, a really short overview of the Gymshark story, and I'm sure there's loads that I've missed. So if anyone has any questions, then feel free to comment them below. I want to thank everyone that came out to the Gymshark World Tour and asked me to do a video like this, because if it wasn't for you guys asking, then I wouldn't have done it. I want this channel to be a documentation of my journey and a source of inspiration and information for others too. So if anyone has any further questions, then please like the video, comment the video, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you are here. So thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate that. That's all for today. That was today 312. Okay, 312 days left. Day number 53, trying to make $1 million. I keep learning. I just need to apply all that I learned today. I learned about the different materials and components of a shoe. So I just need to get in contact with the factories and start selling the shoes. That's what I need to do. And keep creating content. And today was very hard because I get out of ideas and I need to think of a new idea every single day. It's very hard, but no problem. I won't give up. I don't have the shoes right now. I'm in the process of creating the shoes, bro. I'm in the process. All the manufacturing process. I'm getting in contact with the factories, but I don't have the shoes right now. So I can send you the shoes probably in the future when you make it. Okay. When I make the shoes, I will send you the shoes, bro. So thank you so much for today. See you tomorrow, probably. In the future, I know I will have 1 billion viewers. I will be better than Mr. Beast and greater than Mr. Beast. I will have 10 billion viewers. The audience will watch my streams. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will keep going. See ya. And remember, one life, one shot.